In today's digital world, your hotel's success hinges on more than just impeccable service. It's about visibility. So today, we're going to dive into the essential strategies you need to master your hotel's presence online. Let's begin.
Hello, and a warm welcome to all the students from Europe Hotel School. I am a hotel AI expert, and it's my pleasure to be here to guide you on your learning journey. This program is all about giving you practical, real-world knowledge to help you excel in this fantastic industry. All right, here's a quick look at our roadmap. We'll start by talking about why search engines are basically the new front door. Then we'll map out the guest's digital journey. After that, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of your website, create content that truly connects, win the all-important local search game, and finally, wrap up with why SEO is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's jump right into our first section, the new digital gateway. You have to think of search engines as the new digital front door to your hotel. If you're not there when a potential guest comes knocking, you're missing out on a massive opportunity. It really makes you think, doesn't it? In today's market, if your hotel isn't showing up online, for all intents and purposes, it might as well be invisible. It's a huge risk, and it doesn't matter how incredible your property is in the real world. So what's the solution? It's search engine optimization, or as we all know it, SEO. Really, it's just the art and science of helping your website show up right at the top of search results organically. And that's key. It means you're attracting guests who are already looking for exactly what you offer without paying for every single click. Okay, but to really nail your SEO, you have to get inside the mind of your potential guest. And that brings us perfectly to our next section, mapping out that guest journey to really understand what they're looking for every step of the way. A traveler's search journey can pretty much be broken down into three main stages. First, there's inspiration. That's when they're just dreaming of a getaway. Then comes research, where they start comparing their options. And finally, booking, when they're ready to pull the trigger. Each stage is driven by a different motivation. In that first inspiration stage, it's all about the dream, isn't it? Guests are using really broad search terms. They're looking for an experience, not a specific hotel just yet. This is your golden opportunity to capture their imagination with content that tells a beautiful story about your location. Now, once they're inspired, they shift into the research phase, and here their searches get a lot more specific. They're directly comparing hotels. Your website absolutely has to provide all the details they need: your location, your amenities, and what makes you special. Clarity here is everything. It builds their confidence. And then we arrive at the booking stage. These searches are laser-focused. They show a really clear intent to make a reservation. This is that make or break moment where being visible is the difference between an empty room and a booked one. To make sure you're there for your guests at all three stages, you need a rock-solid digital foundation. And that's exactly what our third section is all about, the technical backbone of your website. First things first, speed. It's so important. A fast website leads to a happy user, which leads to a higher search ranking. A slow site? Well, that's a recipe for frustration. It'll send potential guests clicking away and tells search engines you aren't providing a very good experience. But hey, it's not just about speed. Your website needs to be well organized with navigation that just makes sense. And let's be honest, with so many people booking travel on their phones these days, a mobile-friendly, responsive design isn't a nice-to-have, it's completely non-negotiable. So once your technical house is in order, it's time to focus on what really grabs your guests' attention: fantastic content. This brings us to our next topic: how to create content that transforms your website from just a brochure into an inspiring resource. I think this quote just says it all perfectly. You're not just selling a room with a bed. You are selling a future experience. Your content needs to reflect that. It has to help guests actually picture themselves at your property and create a genuine emotional connection. So, how do you do that? How do you build that connection? Well, with content that is both beautiful and practical. I'm talking about detailed room descriptions, absolutely stunning photography, and proactively answering those common questions. And please, don't forget to show off your local knowledge with destination guides. It's all about building trust. We all know hotels are all about location, right? Your digital strategy needs to be too. In our fifth section, we're going to get into how you can win the local search game, which is, frankly, where most of your guests are going to find you. Local SEO is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's all about optimizing your digital footprint to show up when people search for things nearby. For any hotel, this isn't just a piece of your SEO strategy. It is the very heart of it.
Now, one of the most critical parts of local SEO is simple consistency. You have to make sure your hotel's name, address, and phone number are exactly the same everywhere they appear online. Any little inconsistency can confuse search engines and, you guessed it, hurt your ranking.
And of course, your online reputation is a massive factor here. Guest reviews aren't just for future guests to read, they are a powerful signal to search engines. A steady stream of positive reviews can truly work wonders for your visibility in local searches. And finally, let's talk about having the right mindset for all of this. SEO is not a one-time fix. It is an ongoing, vital part of your entire marketing strategy. If there's one thing you take away today, let it be this. SEO is a process, not a project. The digital world is constantly shifting, so you have to be monitoring, adapting, and refining your strategy all the time. It is a long-term commitment, but the reward is sustainable, long-term success. So I will leave you with a question to think about. How will you make sure your property stays visible to the next generation of travelers? The strategies we've discussed today are your roadmap. By putting them into practice, you'll be setting yourself up to attract not just the guests of today, but the travelers of tomorrow as well. Thank you.